So, what if I told you that the cure for your disease isn't some futuristic billion-dollar discovery? What if it's already sitting on a pharmacy shelf right now, just waiting for someone to notice? This is the absolutely incredible story of a doctor who, when faced with his own death sentence, had to find one of these hidden cures himself.
Just imagine hearing those words, and not from just any doctor, but from the world's leading expert on your specific condition. For Dr. David Fajgenbaum, this wasn't some hypothetical. It was real. It was the moment he was told his life was basically over.
And you have to understand, before all this, David was the picture of health. I mean, he was a Division I college quarterback, strong, athletic, with his whole life ahead of him. And then, bam. In what felt like the blink of an eye, he's in the ICU, his organs are failing, and his body is totally unrecognizable after gaining nearly 100 pounds of fluid.
He was actually a third-year medical student, literally learning how to save lives, when he gets diagnosed with this incredibly rare and mysterious illness that brings him right to the edge of death.
The diagnosis was something called Castleman's disease. Now, think of this as a terrifying mix between cancer and an autoimmune disease. Basically, his own immune system, the very thing that's supposed to protect you, had gone completely haywire and was launching this all-out assault on his own body.
And this battle was just relentless. It wasn't a one-and-done kind of thing. We're talking 5 separate times, 5, that he was so critically ill, so close to the end, that a priest was actually called in to read him his last rites. Just let that sink in.
So this begs a really important question, right? With all of our advanced medical knowledge and technology, why were the world's best doctors completely out of answers? Well, David's crisis ended up exposing this huge, fundamental blind spot in the very system we trust to find cures. A blind spot where life-saving drugs can exist but remain totally invisible.
And this brings us to this powerful, game-changing idea called drug repurposing. It sounds a little technical, but the concept is actually super simple. It's finding new jobs for old drugs. See, we tend to think of one drug having one purpose, but the truth is the average drug can interact with 20 or 30 different things in our bodies. The potential is just massive.
And this slide right here perfectly illustrates that hidden potential. I mean, look at this. We all know aspirin for headaches, right? But it's also being used to help prevent colon cancer. Viagra, originally a heart disease drug, now saves babies with a rare lung condition. And lidocaine, the stuff your dentist uses to numb your mouth, has shown it can actually help treat breast cancer. These are life-saving second acts.
Okay, so here's the billion-dollar question. Why aren't we actively hunting for more of these hidden cures? Well, the problem, in a nutshell, is this number: 80%. 80% of all our approved drugs are already generic. And once a drug's patent runs out, that huge financial incentive for drug companies to fund new research, it just disappears. It means countless potential cures are just left on the table, falling through the cracks of the system.
So, stuck between this systemic blind spot and his own life hanging in the balance, David made a really radical decision. If the experts couldn't find a cure for him, he was going to find one himself.
He's lying there in his hospital bed, right after being told there was nothing more to do, and he has this incredible moment of clarity. He realized, wait a minute, they haven't tried everything. They've only tried the things they thought to try. And in that moment, he decided he was going to dedicate whatever time he had left to answering that one question.
So he essentially turned his own body into a crime scene, and he was the lead detective. As you can see from his playbook here, he started collecting his own blood and tissue samples every time he relapsed. Then he analyzed them, looking for clues. He measured about 1,000 different proteins and finally found the smoking gun. A specific communication pathway in his immune system, called mTOR, was stuck in overdrive. The next step was obvious: find a drug that can shut that pathway down.
Now, this is really the climax of his whole search. He wasn't looking for some brand new miracle drug. No, he was hunting for an old drug, one with a hidden talent that nobody had ever bothered to look for before.
And his research led him to a really surprising suspect: a drug that's commonly used to stop the body from rejecting a new kidney or a new liver. So the question became, could this medication, which is designed to calm down the immune system in transplant patients, be the key to calming down his own hyperactive immune system?
The drug was sirolimus. It had never, not once, been used for Castleman's disease before. But David's data was just undeniable. It looked like the perfect key for the lock he had found in his own cells. He took his findings to his doctor, and together they decided to take that leap of faith.
And the result? Well,
Here it is. It's been over 11 years now, more than 11 years in complete remission. He went from having his last rites read 5 times to being saved by a drug that was never, ever intended for him. He found his hidden cure.
But the story doesn't end there, which is what makes it so amazing. David realized his personal playbook wasn't just a one-off solution for him. It was a blueprint that could be used to find hidden cures for diseases all over the world. His personal fight for survival became a global mission.
So he co-founded the nonprofit Every Cure, and their mission is it's breathtakingly ambitious. They want to use AI to map the connections between every known drug and every human disease. They're systematically hunting for these hidden cures, validating them, and trying to build a world where no patient ever has to hear the words, "There's nothing more we can do."
Dr. Feigenbaum's story is such a powerful reminder that sometimes the answers we need most are hiding in plain sight. And it really leaves us with this one huge question. How many other life-saving cures are sitting on our pharmacy shelves right now, just waiting for someone to look?